We're in a whole new era. Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. We're in a whole new stinking era. I chopped my hair. Chopped my hair and donated it. I luckily had enough to donate, which is, I haven't done honestly in like 10 years, but I used to go through this thing where I would let my hair grow out and then I would just chop it off. I have not, however, been this short since high school, and today we're going to play around with makeup and figure out who this new persona is. It is a little chilly, so we're in sweaters, but I just want to catch up, basically, and I figured this had to be addressed first and foremost because there's, like, no hair anymore. So, without further ado, let's put on some makeup and catch up on life. This is going to be more than likely all over the place. I'm having matcha, which is another part of this whole new era. I already have some skin prep on, but I think where I want to start is the Glow Recipe Strawberry BHA Pore Smoothing Blur Drops. I'm going to do this after hydrating serums have sunk in and before my SPF. To me, SPF should always be the last step right before makeup. Maximum hydration or protection, hydration. I'm thinking of that because this serum is actually very hydrating, and I'm going to focus this on my T-zone. It feels so nice. I've not had a chance to regularly use this, which we can get into. The speaking might not be the best because it's the end of the work week and it's been a long one. I'm only putting out like this much at a time because this is so watery. A little does go a long way. And I'm just going to focus that on my nose and right beside my nose, forehead and chin, the classic T-zone area. And I'm also going to kind of like let that sink in and do a little bit of its work before we jump in to sunscreen. It's been probably just a minute and most of it has sunk in. There's a little bit that's still, you know, wet for lack of a better term. But I think we're good to go in with sunscreen. I will say, if it blurs, it's more than likely because it is slightly mattifying, but on my dry skin, it doesn't feel tight. My skin still feels hydrated, which is nice. We'll see how it goes throughout the day, but now I'm just going in with the Lip Tinted Hue Guard, which we're going to get in. There's so many things I want to talk about. Let's just start with, my uploads have been a little sporadic. You got a week with like a ton of videos and then a week with one video. And part of that is those dang workshops. But we are finally done. We are finally done with workshops at work. So I have more mental capacity to film. And also, I have the Sephora Part 2 that I want to get up. It's probably going to go up after this because I lost footage on it. And it's really important footage of swatching between the NARS foundations and the Givenchy concealers. But I wanted to introduce my hair first because it's going to give it away, because even like I can't really pull it back. And as soon as I turn to the side, you'll know that her hair is gone. And actually, I'm going to throw a headband on just to keep it out of my face. This kind of just happened. I went and got my hair cut earlier this week, and my good friend Sam, who is also my hairdresser, was like, what do you think you want to do today? And I told her, like, look, these are the pictures. Talk me out of it if you don't think it's going to be flattering. I think I'm a short hair girl, and maybe that's just for this moment. I don't know. I'm going to go in today, before we get into that story, I'm going to go in with the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation in Siberia. I have now tested the Mont Blanc, which will be in that Sephora Part 2. If it darkened, all of that will be revealed. But in that video, I decided that I need to try this one all over the face to see if it is actually a better match than Mont Blanc. And while I am skeptical, I think there's a large potential that this could be a better match, so we'll see. But anyway, I told my hairdresser, you know, stop me if I'm making a mistake, but I'm not scared of chopping my hair off. It grows back. I've chopped so many times before. I've had every hairstyle outside of a pixie pretty much. So I've just really been loving this look, especially when it's kind of styled, curled, and like textured and messy and a little edgy. Yeah. I think this is my match, which is wild because it's very yellow. And while I do have a decent amount of yellow, I'm more neutral. Let's blend this out and see. I'm going to do this side and we'll reconvene. But she was so excited. I'll insert a clip. We were able to donate, I think it was like 8 or 9 inches. Make sure you ask your hairstylist if you're going for a big chop, because there are different places that take donations that will take different amounts of lengths. Like before, I was always told it had to be 12 inches. And my hairdresser was like, no, we can donate a shorter amount if that's what you have to give. So we did that. I'm very excited. I can't tell you how nice it is to like feel the breeze on my neck. And also this takes a fraction of the time to dry and style. That's why I think I'm just a short hair girl. Like I have so many ideas for how to style this. I just ordered a bunch of different bobby pins and clips. Like we're going to get real fun and funky with this hairdo. And I was just at a place with my long hair where more often than not, it was like in a low bun, or it was on top of my head in a rat's nest, and it just wasn't super fun for me. So in person, you can tell that this is a little too yellow in person and definitely on camera. But at the same time, I think it looks better from face to neck than my Mont Blanc. And I can't tell what's going on here. In person, it looks like this is blended. What's happening? Is this lighting? Hello, excuse me, we're trying to film here. Let me go adjust my lighting. I think it's lighting. What the heck? Oh my gosh, that is so much better. I accidentally bumped my light and it fell, and I guess it turned on some yellow lighting instead of white. But this is a lot more accurate of lighting. While it's not absolutely perfect, you can kind of see, I think, where I brought it down on my neck. It's not perfect, but I still think it's better than Mont Blanc. But I don't know. I'm having an identity crisis with this foundation, to be honest with you. It is the perfect finish, but neither of the colors is like exactly perfect. I can get away with them, and I think more so in the cooler months when I have a neckline that's easy to blend down to. I don't know why this area is looking so crazy on camera still. It never ceases to amaze me when I have to adjust lighting being too bright, because Pittsburgh is not known for that. Okay, moving on. You'll see this in the Sephora video, and I do swatching on my neck so you can see the comparison, but N80 and the Givenchy concealer is a really good match for me, so that's what I'm going to go in with today. And also, I have discovered that you do want to work in sections with this. It does start to kind of grip and dry down, so you don't want to do your entire face and then not be able to blend out seamlessly. So I have been doing it more in sections. Much better match. Definitely medium coverage. I do have to build up a little bit under my eye, and I am going to kind of let that sit for a minute so I can get the most coverage out of it. But I miss you guys. I have new hair. We've been adjusting the lighting too much for me to even know like where I left off, where we're picking back up. But this is a whole new persona. Like I went to the hair shop and didn't even do my makeup because I don't know who she is yet, if that makes sense. We're gonna kind of build her out a little bit today. I am planning to film another video after this and then go on a date with my husband. So I do want to look nice. We'll see if I can style my hair kind of straight. I mean, you can, but if I like it straight, especially with whatever look we're gonna put together today. But it's so nice to be filming in a relaxing setting. Like, I don't have a strict timeline to film. Every time I sat down to film the last 2 weeks, it was like, you have this set time to get it done in, and if you don't, it is what it is. So I feel like I was rushing through a lot. The scalp video is a good example of that. There's so much that I could have added to that. So if anybody needs additional tips, let me know. We can converse over Instagram. I can film a part 2. All of that kind of good stuff. I'm going to build up on my nose a little bit. These two formulas together are kind of a match made in heaven too. I love these formulas. And I'm definitely having an identity crisis because Siberia looks better, I think. Minus whatever the heck is going on with the camera that's giving me like green, yellow-green around my mouth. I don't know. Bear with me. I'm going to go in with my eyebrows. I need to stop saying I'm going to go in with. I'm going to do my eyebrows while that concealer kind of has a chance to set down. With the Benefit Gimme Brow Plus Volumizing Fiber, we're like really working through this pencil, which makes me very happy. What's new with everyone else? Did anyone else chop their hair off? I need to know. I need to know. I think when I mean this is a whole new era, one, new hair does give you a new persona. And I know there's that age-old story of women chopping their hair, dyeing their hair, just doing crazy hair things when they need to reinvent themselves. And I think that's part of what this is, if I'm being completely honest. We've talked ad nauseum, about the changes I want and need to make in my life. And I will tell you that we're happily on track, and I fully intend on filming some kind of content that lets you in on all the things that I've been doing. But one, making my hair easier for me to style was a really big step in the right direction, because I wasn't doing my hair, and this hairstyle in a way kind of forces me to, but it also is easier and more inspiring for me to have. So that was one thing I did. We've talked about kind of like setting your space, which to me was like decluttering and organizing. And then a really big switch that I've been making is matcha instead of coffee. Matcha does not make me as jittery. I would almost describe it as like coffee does this to me, like a perfect peak and decline. Matcha, I kind of ride it for a while, and it's like a very, very slow taper. Almost where it's like a plateau with like a small taper towards the end. Plus, I love the taste. I love the art of making it. It's just, I don't know why I abandoned it for so long. I think I was just white knuckling it so hard that caffeine was the only thing that kept me at the pace I needed to be going, even though I would crash so hard at the end of it. Going to use the Westman Átelier powder just under the eyes. So I'm doing the matcha. I also, instead of going back to the functional medicine and dietitian that I was seeing, because we ended not on a great note, I did go back and at least get some of the vitamins and supplements that really seem to make a difference. For me, with PCOS, it's the inositol, but I also have low B12, vitamin D, and I really, really benefit from a probiotic, but I'm also very sensitive to a lot of the probiotics that you can get at like Whole Foods or the store or wherever. So I picked those things back up from him, and honestly, one, I saw a difference in my blood work when I was taking those, specifically for B12 and vitamin D. Don't just make sure someone is monitoring this for you, is what I'm getting at. But I saw a difference with them. And also some of the things like the inositol, there's another one that's more related to my menstrual cycle that's like a blend of stuff. Whether it truly works or is placebo, at this point I don't care. It's almost like a reminder to me daily, like health top of mind, make good choices. And if you're spending the money on those, like it's even more of an incentive to keep pushing along, you know. But more so, I do see a genuine difference when I'm using some of those supplements. So very excited I'm back on that. My Fitbit currently is charging, but that has been helping let me know like when I need to pay more attention to my sleep cycle, all of that good stuff. Exercise, like I said, it's almost like turning myself into a Tamagotchi, and it's a game now to meet all of my basic needs. So we're doing that. And yeah, those are like the big changes I would say that I've been making. So I guess I don't need to film other content on that unless you have specific questions. I'm happy to, but that kind of covers the majority of it right now. But I will say that's just the tip of the iceberg, but I'm trying to build the basics back. So before I can start talking about, you know, a bunch of solid core workouts a week, all this and all that, I need to get the basics down again. And the last thing is we've just been focusing on vegetables, like nothing else, just whole foods and vegetables. And I will share my favorite places to get recipes and where I've been making most of the recipes from is Baked by Melissa, who is on TikTok, but she also posts all of the recipes to her website. I will link these down below. And then my top favorite right now, like she can do no wrong in my eyes, is Justine Snacks. She's on Instagram, TikTok, and she has a blog. Her recipes have never let me down. She makes me think about food in a totally different way. And the major selling point on both of these creators is that everything takes like 15 minutes to prep, 15 minutes to cook, because they are so veggie forward. And Justine Snacks does do a lot more vegetarian, pescatarian, and vegan recipes. But, you know, all we do for that is add a random protein, add chicken, beef, shrimp, whatever. Yeah, so those have been really helpful. And I also feel like I finally unlocked how to meal prep. I hate eating reheated meat. I just can't do it. And a lot of vegetables I just can't do. So we did get an air fryer, but like the toaster oven kind. I'll pop the one up on the screen that we got. It was $20 off, I think, at Costco. So it was around like $80. And it's an amazing one. And you can do all kind of things in it. And I'm late to the air fryer game, but so happy that I have it now. That helps with reheating things and getting them crisp is what I'm getting at. But I still don't really like to eat the same thing every day, and like leftovers, I have to like force myself. So what I've learned is prep a couple different dressings. So I'll prep like 2 to 3 dressings. I'll prep 1 to 2 dips. And then you have like an arsenal of sauces. And then I also prep bread. So last week I made focaccia. This week I probably will do focaccia again because it's such an easy bread. But then you have like your starch and a bunch of sauces. So you can make a salad with brown rice that is microwavable or pre-made. Add beans, a bunch of vegetables, make a salad, and the sauces kind of keep things different enough. And some of the, that's where these two girls shine, is their dressings and sauces. Like highly recommend you checking them out and maybe trying like that type of prep that I just mentioned, because it's been a game changer. Baked by Melissa's Dijon dressing, not Dijon. Baked by Melissa's miso dressing, I can eat greens all day now. It's so good. So I'll leave a link to all of that down below, but check those out. And I've yammered quite a bit. So today, I think I want to test my new persona with the Glaminatrix Nearly Nude palette. Is that the name of it? Nearly Natural. It's been a while since we talked about this. They have restocked this on and off. We can do a full swatch video, but today I want to play around with some of these colors. They're such pretty colors. And this mucky green, like heck yes. I don't know who I think I am today, but we're just gonna play with makeup and we'll go from there. And while I was kind of running at the gums, I used the Makeup by Mario Skin Perfector, Skin Enhancer, the cream. I hate these names. The Gucci Soleil Eclat Bronzer, and that's it. So we're gonna pause there so we can get into the eyes. And I think this shade always calls my name, but one thing to note about this palette is they're much darker swatch than in the palette. Maybe not, but I always expect that to be a little lighter. However, we're going with it. I'm going to go into the crease with that with a Refer 01 or MAC 217, whichever you have. I am going to tap because these can be a little powdery. And I'm using very light pressure. I'm just going to start to build kind of a wash in the crease up to the eyebrow. I do have a question. So I see all the time that people wish tutorials came back onto YouTube. And I do see like Alexandra Anil, she does do tutorials, but they're usually very like topic specific. Whereas I would really like to start doing tutorials, or very similar to my Chasing Inspirations, where we try to create another look. And the feedback I get is that you guys really enjoy kind of coming along the ride with me. I do want to start doing those more, but I'll be honest, they don't tend to get as many views as just like a get ready with me, which always blows my mind. And also, before we go any further, I do need to address that we are 15 subscribers away from 1,000. Are you quaking? Because I'm quaking. And thank you so much for being here. If you're new here, welcome. We're so happy to have you here. This is one of the best communities online, if you ask me, just because, you know, we talk about health things, we talk about what's going on in the world, fashion, makeup, and we, for the most part, use a lot of what we have, but we also buy selectively and usually seasonally. I've been kind of off the rails lately with that, which we can talk about, but, you know, I'm gonna have to reel it in. But welcome. So happy to have you here. I can't believe we're almost at 1,000. If and when, because I'm trying to be optimistic here, we hit 1,000, I will film, upload immediately the video of me roasting my 8-year-old fashion sketches. If that's incentive, tell your friends. Tell your friends. But either way, I plan on doing that. I feel like that's a good occasion for me to like rip my 8-year-old self, you know, which is a joke. That is a joke. It's going to be entertaining. I actually still really like a lot of those designs. You know, now comes the difficult decision of choosing what I want on my eyelid, because they're all so pretty. That looks, these two are the most promising. These two. What am I doing with my hands? And that was Nearly Natural and Down to Earth. Let's do Nearly Natural all over the lid, and maybe Down to Earth, this darker one, in the outer third of the eye. These are they're very, very soft, but they are also a little bit flaky. You would definitely benefit, because they are so glitter heavy, more so glitter than shimmer. You would definitely benefit from having glitter glue, but I can't be bothered today. And that's just me being very honest. We might have to switch to a finger. Yeah, this is taking too long. I'm going to switch to a finger. You can kind of see there in Nearly Natural, it's starting to get dented in. They're very, very soft shadows. I don't know that I would travel with this, because it would need extra measures to make sure that it doesn't just explode. Look at that though. Look how pretty that is. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I mean, with the finger, there's no denying that that is absolutely stunning. And I brought over one of the Phytosurgence Celestial Ceremony. I always want to say Symphony. Ceremony shadows. And I don't even know that this needs it because that's wild. I'm going to take my finger into Down to Earth, which is that darker plummy. It's like a plummy taupe with gold. And I'm just going to tap the outer third just to kind of start to build dimension a little bit in the glitter, and then we'll build more dimension with the mattes. Yeah, I mean, it's hard there. You can kind of see the dimension I built there, but the way the light hits these, it's like hard to see because they're so shiny. But I do think I need a little bit more on this eye. I swear, it's the fact that I'm getting a lot of natural light. It looks darker in person. But look how pretty that is. I regret not pulling out this palette more before. Like, I've used it a couple of times, but I'm getting obsessed. I'm gonna go for a very, very detailed brush. This is the Katie Jane Hughes Spectrum 21. Very tiny pencil brush. I'm going to wipe that off on a microfiber because I need to wash my brushes. What's new? Nothing. And I want to start to build with this Naturally shade, which is a deep brown that has quite a bit of purple in it. And then we might even build the lash line with Disrobe. No, I think we're probably going to stick to that natural. Let's stick to natural and see where we get. We're doing a smoky eye. I can't wait to style my hair according to my clothing too. Like, it's going to be a whole vibe. And on that note, you're probably going to see this, then the Sephora part 2, and then my hopes is we'll do a collective haul for the month of April. And then we'll do speed reviews of everything I bought in March. And somewhere in that, we are going to do that collective clothing haul because I did end up ordering 2 things in the month of April, clothing-wise, which was a really exciting purchase, honestly, from Farm Rio, from their little tomato drop that they did. I ordered the dress and the 2-piece set, and I have no regrets. It's so flattering, so I definitely want to get that up along with the Farm Rio astrology sets, or Farm Rio astrology garments that I picked up before those are gone. And then the last thing I picked up in April that I can't wait to talk about, I actually have on right now, and it is Express's answer to duping Good American's Always Fits line, which is the line of jeans that is supposed to be a single size that fits. I think their range is like 14 to 18 is the one size, but they were killing me because I need like a 12 to 14 variants, and Express's I think goes from like 10 to 14, the size large. So I ordered those. I have them on now. I really like them. I just wish that they had more styles in my size in stock. And it's so funny. I don't know that I've ever shared like past employers, but I did work at Express Corporate for a long time. And I worked in technical design and quality, so I have like very mixed feelings. Very, very mixed feelings, but I do really like these jeans, I must say. I just added a little more in the crease. I do want to start blending this out a little bit more, but I'm going to pick up kind of the next size up in pencil brushes. This is the 18 from the same line, Katie Jane Hughes and Spectrum. Still going into that naturally shade. I will say definitely use glitter glue because I can feel it starting to shed into my eye a little bit. And I have sensitive eyes around this time of year. Allergies, you know? But I'm really liking this look. I mean, who wouldn't know that I would love this look, because I love dusty roses. And that's basically all the colors that we chose. But I do think that this palette can give some really cool looks, like when I'm in an edgier mood, those mucky greens. Yeah, like look at this. This is down to earth. Yeah, that's cool. And I think that would complement the Dose of Colors palette that I picked up well. This is even muckier than that one. And then we also have, what is this one? Nothing to See, which is a little bit more gray, but it's a gray that has, look how crazy that is. Okay, that's the shade. It looks taupe, but when I look at it, it has gray and green in it. But then when I swatch it, it's like pinky. That's kind of wild. I'm actually going to use some of that kind of on the upper crease at the edge of that pink that we put down. That's kind of cool. That's what I'm saying. This is one of those eyeshadow formulas where you do need to swatch it, because not everything is what it seems at first glance, which is not a bad thing at all. It's just keep that in mind type of situation. And as much as I want to use Naked Eye on my inner corner, I think the glitter could become a problem in that sense. So I'm torn between Beautypie's Beige Bombshell stick. Maybe we should swatch. I'm covered in glitter. There's Beige Bombshell. It's not as brightening as I want, so that's out. Pass. Which means we're going to use the Aether Manifest palette, and I'm going to use Amplify, which is this shade right here. Yeah. It's got a decent amount of pink to it, but it's going to look, I think, very pretty with this pink look. And I'm just going to grab, this is Refer 21, very similar to the MAC 242. I will correct myself in the event that I misspoke. And I'm just going to add that as an inner corner highlight and start to blend it up into the crease and also into the lid. Oh yes, she's everything I could ever want. The dusty rose, the smoky outer corner, the bright inner corner. I haven't done this type of eye glam look, and I am gonna hit a little bit under the brow in so long, and it feels so nice. Been doing a lot of like really easy looks, and it was nice to sit down and just really enjoy the process today, and you can't tell me that is not gorgeous. I mean, very romantic, very glittery, very beautiful. I am going to spritz with MAC Fix Plus. We will let that dry. I have regrets about not using glitter glue. Definitely, if you're using the glittery shades in here, you need glitter glue because this could cause some problems. I definitely have a chunk in my eye. And now that my hand is covered in glitter, I don't know if that's smart to do. Definitely use glitter glue, but the mattes are beautiful. They blend like a dream. The effect is so pretty on the eyes. I can't get over the lid. All right, if you get glitter in your eye, do not rub your eye. Don't do that. I don't have any other advice. besides don't rub your eye. I have used up most of my mascaras. I'm currently working through that deluxe sample of the CoverGirl Lash Blast, but it's not tubing. It's also not my favorite. So I had this waiting in the wings. It is older, but I have not opened it. And it is the Victoria Beckham Future Lash. So this is their tubing mascara. You know, I like a thick girl mascara comb. So I don't know. It's also, it's not bendy, but it's like, it's got a tiny bit of a curve to it. So I'm going to apply this. We'll see how this goes. Okay, that was my first dip. I will say it does kind of seem like, because the brush is so small, it's not applying as thick of a first coat as I would like, so I am going in with a second coat. But I will say, for a tubing mascara, I know that it's still wet, but it does let you build, which is nice. It is giving me volume. It's also giving me a little bit of length, but the way that it's acting kind of seems like it's going to like, wee, go down. And the Thrive gives you a little bit more, I don't want to say clumpy, but do you see how it's clumpy at the base and feathery at the ends? It's almost like the tubing version of that CoverGirl mascara, which is funny to me, because I was kind of hoping I was opening a mascara that was different, but it's giving me a thick base, feathery ends, and that's not a look that I like. Like, I want chunky throughout, and I'm looking for volume and length, but volume throughout the entirety of the lash, not just grabbing on at the base. Even now, I'm trying to start halfway through the lash, and it's kind of just doing the same thing. So, I don't know. This is not my first choice off of first impressions, but I am going to try to use it up. Usually if I open a mascara and I don't love it, what I will end up doing is wearing it more so on days where I'm doing a really thick cat eye, because really you can't see my lashes over that because of how thick I draw my cat eye. And I'm really just coloring them so they don't look blonde against a dark cat eye, essentially. But yeah, there's kind of the finished lashes. Not my best lashes, you know. The next mascara I'm going to open up is going to be the Beautypie Uber Volume, because you can't beat it. Now for blush. I was thinking of my tried and true Condensate or the Balm Desert. I think Condensate. I think it's going to look very nice. Using a Katie Jane Hughes Spectrum 04. I do like these brushes, which kind of surprises me because I'm much more of a natural fiber bristle lover. I just prefer the way that they lay down products. They don't always feel softer, especially face brushes that are made of like goat hair, but I do like how they blend and lay down product more than synthetic usually. But I do really like the Katie Jane Hughes Spectrum brushes, and I'm glad that they kept them around as long as they have, because when these first came out, I was not in the position to purchase them, and I'm so happy that I got the opportunity to. The outdoor lighting is changing a little bit, and what I'm noticing is that I'm pale. Very pale. But in person, I'm not looking as pale. I do want to touch up my brows a little bit. Sometimes when you do these smoky eyes, I've been kind of in a brow routine because my eyes have been so simple that I'm not going as thick and dark. And then I do a smoky eye and I immediately want to thicken up and darken my eyebrows. And I think it looks better. Especially, it's almost like balancing out the contrast on my face when my eyes are so smoky and contrasty. I need my brows to be able to hold their weight on my face, you know. So we did that. I am getting a little bit washed out now, because in person I do not need more blush, but on camera I'm wanting to do more blush. We will reserve. I do want to, I think, pair the Ami Collet with this look. We're going to see how that turns out. And I am going to line with Anywhere Caffeine, so the lighter sister to the Wherever Walnut. And I do cover this in the Sephora Part 2 video. Just a little bit lighter, but still a rosy brown. We'll see if this is the right choice, because I am quite soft pink. Yeah. Too brown. Let's do pink. I haven't worn the L'Oreal lip balm in a while, and I do really love it, so that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to reline. I love the color and feel. I just hate the scent. L'Oreal, get it together. All right, that's the finished look. I do really like the one-sided tuck, and now I feel like my sideburns have a purpose with this hairdo, but I am kind of like, this headband goes with the eyeshadow. I don't know, headband or no headband? We're going to keep the headband. I might even do a nice little tuck on this side too. We'll just let the sideburns be the star of the show. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. It's so nice to catch up with you. Let me know what you've been up to. I've missed you. I really have. I miss some of you a lot. And I hope you've been having a great couple of weeks. I said it, and I'm nervous to say it in case something happens, but we should be back to regularly scheduled content. Sephora Part 2 will be up. We'll go through all of the shades of the complexion products that I picked up. But I hope you're having a wonderful day. I will say I love all of the products I use. They will be listed down below. Just know that if you're going to pick up the Glaminatrix palette and you want to use these beautiful glitters that give a beautiful effect, you're going to need a glitter glue, and if you have very sensitive eyes, I would pass. But we can certainly do a swatch video if you would like. Let me know down below. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.